Selfish means putting Africa first, processing our minerals on African soil, turning our agriculture into finished goods for global markets, building pharmaceuticals that guarantee our health independence. Selfish means insisting on fair terms in every agreement, boldly rejecting exploitation masked as aid, and using our combined strength to negotiate as equals. What if the most profound geopolitical transformation in West Africa didn't unfold at a grand summit, in a presidential palace, or on a battlefield, but on dusty roads few were watching? What if the real revolution in the Sahel isn't the coups, the sanctions, or the fiery speeches, but trucks quietly rerouting, changing direction under the radar? Why did certain ports suddenly feel less indispensable? Why did freight routes start shifting? Why did corridors once seen as eternal suddenly become just one option among many? Let's uncover the truth. Before we celebrate new paths, we must understand how the old trap was set. The Sahel didn't choose dependency on narrow corridors to the sea. Colonial powers engineered it that way. Railways weren't built to link African economies, they were extraction pipelines. Tracks ran straight from resource-rich interiors to coastal ports. Gold, cotton, livestock, uranium. Everything flowed out efficiently to waiting ships. The interior existed to supply, not to connect or negotiate. Post-independence, those same routes persisted. Roads expanded along colonial axes. Insurance firms priced risks around familiar paths. Freight companies optimized for what they knew. This created path dependency, historical choices locked in future options. For Niger, up to 80 to 90% of imports once flowed through Benin's port of Cotonou: fuel, food, construction materials heading inland via established southern corridors. Burkina Faso and Mali relied heavily on similar southern gateways like Abidjan or Lomé. Economically, it made sense at first. Ports had infrastructure, customs aligned. Traffic grew efficiency, which reinforced concentration. Concentration bred dependency. And dependency became leverage. When 70 to 80% of essentials pass through one route, that route isn't just logistics, it's quiet power. Disruptions aren't minor, they're existential threats. This wasn't neighborly hostility, it was structural asymmetry. A single choke point amplified every political tremor. Border closures turned symbolic into economic strangulation. Sanctions tightened real supply lines. The Sahel's vulnerability wasn't just geography, it was engineered concentration. For decades, the system hummed smoothly enough to hide its fragility. Until it didn't. The 2023 Niger coup triggered ECOWAS sanctions. Borders sealed, airspace restricted, transactions frozen. Fuel convoys stalled. Trucks waited endlessly at crossings. Imports delayed. What felt automatic became conditional overnight. But instead of collapse, something remarkable happened. Recognition turned into action. The old funnel concentrated weakness. A new network could spread resilience. Within weeks, Niger accelerated routes through Togo's port of Lomé and Ghana's Tema. Transit agreements were renegotiated. Convoys rerouted with military escorts for longer journeys. Costs rose in some cases, longer distances, higher per kilometer fees, but strategic resilience outweighed pure efficiency. The old model chased cheap speed. The new one built redundancy against shocks. Burkina Faso and Mali followed suit, diversifying southern reliance while exploring northern options toward Algeria's Mediterranean links for future integration. None of this came with loud announcements. It unfolded in transport ministry meetings, paperwork, logistics firms adjusting quietly. It wasn't protest, it was precise engineering. When dependency drops from 80% on one route to 50%, then 40%, then lower, the system stabilizes. Insurance recalibrates. Freight prices reflect options. Investors see flexibility, not fragility. This wasn't rage against sanctions, it was a structural upgrade. The stress test exposed bends. The response multiplied routes. Think global parallels. COVID exposed single-port reliance. Red Sea tensions forced reroutes around Africa. The Sahel's crisis was regional, compressed, and revealing. Diversification shifted posture. Inland states no longer begged for one gate to reopen. They weighed options. A, B, C. Choice changes tone. Negotiations moved from urgency to calculation. Coastal ports felt it too. Transit isn't charity, it's revenue. Handling fees, trucking, customs. Cotonou once dominated Niger's flows. Abidjan served Burkina Faso reliably. When volumes shifted 15 to 20% to Lomé or Tima, ports noticed. Forecasts adjusted. Staffing changed. Competition stirred. Fees became negotiable. Clearances sped up strategically. Roads upgraded urgently. Diplomacy softened. Diversification didn't attack neighbors, it injected elasticity into hardened ties. One indispensable gate became multiple viable ones, reducing unilateral leverage and fostering mutual respect. Redundancy breeds symmetry. Inland states gained calm comparison, tariffs, times, atmospheres. Vulnerability became strategy. Coastal states now view landlocked partners as mobile clients, not fixed dependents. No port wants consistent bypass. The ecosystem evolved from assumption to competition. This quiet shift reshapes everything. The old funnel concentrated power. The new network distributes it. Inland populations hear the message. We are not trapped. If supply chains can redistribute leverage, what else becomes renegotiable? Long before roads change, imagination rebuilds. Landlocked once sounded final, like a permanent handicap. But functional alternatives cracked that frame. Youth in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, raised on sanctions, debt, crises, seek structural proof, not slogans. Diversified routes deliver it. Fuel arrives despite tensions. Imports persist on longer paths. The system bends, but doesn't break. This echoes Sankara's self-reliance, dignity first, psychological before economic. Today's shift is logistical maturity, multiplying ties, not severing them. Under AES leaders, sovereignty means structural repositioning, refining gold locally, building industry, new alignments. Systems redesign, not just critique. When youth see geography renegotiated, they ask, what else can we redesign? Currency? Energy? Food? Military ties? Diversified access isn't trucks, it's proof. Fixed can flex. Nations seeing flexibility negotiate boldly, invest wisely, risk calculatedly. The interior shifted from boxed in to positioned. This isn't symbolic. Supply chains are geopolitical architecture. Choke points define power, Suez, Hormuz, Red Sea prove it. The Sahel fixed its own, single corridors as pressure valves. Diversification cuts single-point failure. Resilience theory. Redundancy absorbs shocks. Insurance, freight, negotiations all flex. Small shifts compound into influence. Financial perception follows. Lower exposure improves ratings, borrowing, fiscal space for industry, agriculture, processing. Macro gains feed geopolitical posture. Less urgency, more choice. The bigger question, is this quietly redrawing the colonial economic map? Borders unchanged. No new coastlines. Yet geometry bends. Inland fed coast. Coast shipped outward, linear extraction. Now multiple corridors. Southern, western, northern possibilities. Linear becomes networked. Networks resist control. Funnels invite it. Dependency weakens when pressure distributes. Landlocked once meant doomed. But Switzerland thrives landlocked. Rwanda surges. Ethiopia built rails post-secession. Geography brings friction, engineer around it. The Sahel engineers. This challenges colonial choreography, interiors as suppliers, coasts as nodes. Inland states don't erase the map, they overlay it. Transformation via redesign, not confrontation. Trucks carry more than goods, a posture of negotiable access, multiple partnerships, survival beyond single gates. Power flows differently. If logistics redraws without border changes, how many inherited systems await quiet redesign? Let us know in the comments, is this the path Africa needs? Want more on Black culture, history, and untold shifts? Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. We're amplifying voices and legacies that matter. Thanks for watching, stay tuned.